Today we're looking at kind of an interesting concept. We're looking at sectors, which is kind of a cool word to say. When I was out in Seattle, Washington, there's actually a place called Sector Pizza. It's called Sector Pizza. At Sector Pizza, it's actually kind of a clever name. Mathematically, a sector is like a piece of pizza, okay? And there's a whole circle. The circle is basically the whole pizza. The sector is like a slice. So when you see sector, maybe you think slice of pizza. That's what I think of when I see sector. That's probably why it's called Sector Pizza. Okay, Sector Pizza. And they had all sorts of like weird mathematical stuff about it, but we're going to make this about as simple as possible. When you talk about just this sector, well, we have a radius, and we know the entire area of the pizza is going to be just the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. And so if we have a specific sector, we're just going to talk about how many degrees that is, how many degrees it is over 360, because that's the whole circle. So it's going to be some sort of fraction like 100 degrees over 360 degrees, or 50 degrees over 360, basically times pi r squared. Okay? So the area of the sector, the area of that little piece of pizza, we could calculate basically by figuring out this fraction, this ratio, times the whole area. Okay, it says over there, to find the area of a sector, multiply the circle fraction, which is going to be the part over the whole of the area by the area of the circle. That's what we're going to do. Okay, here's 4 examples to start off with. Find the area of each sector. So the first one here, I would just say, well, this little sector is 45 degrees. So I'd say 45 over 360. That's the circle fraction. We're going to multiply by pi r squared, so that'd be pi times 20 squared. It does say to keep pi in your answers. Show all your work, circle your final answer, so it should be okay. With my calculator, I'm going to say 45 divided by 360 is going to be 1/8. 1/8. That's just one way to simplify that. That's 1/8. Times pi times, this would be 400 pi. Notice I wrote the pi at the end, Carrington. 400 divided by 8 would just be 50, so my answer is going to be 50 pi. No calculator needed. We'll say this is square centimeters. Okay, so again, it's your circle fraction times pi r squared. That's where we're at. Questions on that? Yes, sir.
So if it tells us to multiply pi, then with our answer we just multiply 50 times pi.
50 times pi, yep. If you'd said to do that, you'd get somewhere around 157, something like that. Number 2, our circle fraction is 60 over 360 times pi r squared, so that'd be pi times 10 squared. 60 over 360 is 1/6 times 100 pi. So 1/6 of 100, I don't really know what that is. I guess it's 16.6. I guess I could just do it as a fraction. That'd be kind of a nice way of doing it. That'd be 50 thirds. I don't know if this is a good way to write it. Maybe 50 pi thirds, something like that. Or 16 and 2/3 or 0.6. I don't know. Maybe 16.7. I don't know. I'll get what I answer. 1/6 times 100. It's just 100 divided by a 6. These are both divisible by 2, so that's 50 over 3, which is 50 thirds. 50 divided by 3 is 16.66666, so. Yeah, I would say if you want the exact answer, this is the exact answer. If you want something rounded, this is rounded. I think it's kind of weird to have a rounded answer with keeping pi in your answer. I just think that's weird. I don't know why you would round if you're going to keep pi in your answer. So I would probably say that's probably the best answer. It's just simplifying the fraction. It's keeping a fraction. I would say probably the first one is what I would do. Since I'm the one grading, I'd say the first one. Simplify your fraction. Number 3, it says 90. So we'd just say 90 over 360 times pi r squared. So that's pi times 6 squared. That is 1/4 times 36 pi. 36 divided by 4 is 9, so it's just 9 pi. our units would then be square centimeters again. We didn't do units on the second one, did we? It'd be square inches. Okay, the third one's kind of weird because it doesn't actually give us degrees. Okay? But if you think about it, we could actually figure out the circle fraction pretty easily. It splits it into exactly 3 equal places. That's what these little marks mean, 1, 2, and 3. So what would our circle fraction be if it's a part over a whole? What part is shaded? 1 out of a total of 3. So our fraction would turn out to be 1/3 times pi r squared. So that'd be pi times 24 squared. Another way you could figure this out is if you realize that whole circles 360, there's 3 pieces here. You could say this is technically 120 over 360. Then you just go through and you'd turn that into 1/3 anyway, so I don't think it really makes a whole lot of difference. 24 squared is a pretty big number. I think it's 576. When you divide that by 3, you'd have 192. So this would be 192 pi square feet. Okay, questions on finding area of this? It's a really simple concept. I hope you've paid attention for these 4 examples. I know this is early in the morning. I mean, it's 9:30. But all we're really doing is we're finding some sort of circle fraction. What part of the circle is shaded? Well, the 45 degrees out of a whole circle is 360. So 45 over 360, or 90 over 360, or 60 degrees over 360, or 120 over 360. You're finding some circle fraction, and you're just finding the area of the circle. Multiply them together. If I said 1/3 of the class is boys, well, we'd say 1/3 times however many our entire class is. If I said 1/8 of the class is wearing blue shoes, I'd say, 1/8 times whatever our total number in our class is. Okay? It's the same thing that we're doing here. We're just making some sort of circle fraction. How much of it is shaded to make the sector? How much is the entire circle? Okay? Numbers 5, 6, and 7 are working backwards. Working backwards. So we need to be cognizant of this whole idea here. So we basically say, 176.46 is going to equal, our circle fraction is going to be 100 over 360 times pi r squared. It's probably an okay idea to have decimals, I guess, with this, because that's kind of what things are looking like they're going to be. So if I take 100 divided by 360, what do you get? 100 divided by 360? Yeah, 0.2777 something, whatever it is. I'll multiply that by pi as well, just using the pi button. And I have something like this. I would have 0.8726 r squared. Okay? That number is in my calculator. It's 0. Whatever there is. And you guys can figure that in your calculator. All I did is I took 100 divided by 360 times pi. Okay? So all I have left is numbers, and r squared. What do I need to do now? Yeah, I need to divide both sides by this 0.87. Then the whole number. I'm not just dividing it by just like 0.8, or else I'm totally going to get the wrong answer. I'm actually dividing it by this whole thing. So in my calculator, that number is stored. It's sitting right there. It's just automatically the last number I had. So I just take 17.46. I hit divide by, and I actually hit second answer, which is the negative key. And that'll actually give me pretty much exactly 20. 20 equals r squared. It's 20.00. Okay, it says find the area of each sector, or given the area, find the area of the entire circle S. Show all your work, circle the final answers. In order to find the area of the circle, we need to figure out, do we need to figure out what r is, or just r squared? What's that? We really need to figure out what pi r squared is. So basically just take 20 times pi, and we should be good. Remember, area is, are we looking for the area of the entire circle. So area equals pi r squared. We have r squared as 20, so it'd be 20 times pi. This is pi times what's r squared? R squared's 20. So it should be at 62.856 or 62.9. 62.9 square meters. Did you leave? I use that whole number. Number 6, Andrew, help me out. How do I set up the equation? Probably useful if you have your calculators out, using your calculators. Sounds perfect to me. Pi r squared. Yeah. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to multiply these guys here. 175, 360 times pi. So 175 divided by 360 is going to give me somewhere around 0.86111. So I'm going to just keep that whole number in my calculator. I haven't abbreviated or anything else. I'll multiply it by pi, which I use the pi button. I have like 1.527. So I have 39.52 equals 1.5271630, whatever's in my calculator here, r squared. That number, that's what I have. I'll divide both sides by that number, so I'll just say 39.52 divided by second answer. And I'll get r squared equals approximately 25.8780807, like so, something like that.
Where are you getting what you get one?
I multiplied those numbers. Multiply and divide. Everyone, take your calculators out. As I was saying, 175 divided by 360. Divided by 360, which is 0.4861111 times pi. Use your pi button, which is going to give you 1.527163095. Divide both sides by that 1 point whatever number, so 39.52 divided by, hit second answer. You should get exactly that number. The directions say we're finding our area of our entire circle. Area equals pi r squared. So all we're going to do is we're going to take pi times this number right here. So just say times pi. Square inches. All you need to do is just keep all the numbers in your calculator and you should be fine as you're going through this. Carrington, you're going to help us with number 7. It's going to be awesome. Okay? Number 7. It tells us that this part of it's 78 degrees. Do I use the 78? No. I need to know what the rest of it is because I'm talking about the rest of the pizza, not what's gone, but what's still remaining. So what do I have to do there, Carrington? Okay, so that makes this 282 degrees is this whole part here. So it's important to talk about that whole part there. The whole circle is how much? 360. So I take 360 minus 78. I get that number. 282. Okay. Carrington, how do I set up the equation? Okay. 282 over 360 times what? Pi r squared. Sounds good to me. Okay, everyone pick up your calculator. We're multiplying and dividing here. So 282 divided by 360. Everyone hit enter. Compare to the person next to you. Hopefully you have 0.783 something. 0.783 repeating. Does everybody have that? Excellent. Multiply that times pi using the pi button. No abbreviation. And hopefully you're somewhere at like 2.46. So we're at 20.89 equals approximately 2.46 r squared. Is that okay? It's still r. Let's just bring it down. Then all of a sudden we just take 20.89 and I divide by, I use the answer function on here, so I just say second answer on my calculator. I hit enter. It's the negative sign, it's right below 3. 20.89 divided by this number. Second answer. Answer's right there. You should have r squared equaling what? 8.488715135. Like that whole number. I still use that whole number. You don't have to write the whole thing. Usually when I don't write the whole number, I write little dots behind it to say that I'm going to use the whole number. Use the whole number. Otherwise, you're going to be off. The directions say I need to find area. So area is pi r squared. I know what my r squared is. It's right here. All I have to do is multiply this number times pi. So 8.4887 blah, blah, blah times pi. Using the pi button, area should equal 26 point, if I'm rounding the nearest tenth, 7 square feet. Okay. That's all I have for you today. Finding the area of sectors. That's it. That's all I have for you. I do have a quiz ready for you on Monday. We may or may not take it. We'll see what happens with it. Be ready for one just in case.